One of my daughters recently had her doors replaced, and the company that was doing it made a mistake. It wasn't supposed to have this curved edge on it or something like that. But these are basically shaker panels, very flat, and I'm going to repurpose these today to make a chalkboard. And I have this piece of metal left over from another project, and I'm going to try to take the insert out of here from the back and put that piece of metal on, and then put it back on and make a chalkboard, magnet board out of it. This is a really well built door. That thing goes in there almost a ½ inch. I could do this with a Forstner bit all the way around. The easiest way is just to outline where it goes and use a router bit and freehand it around the edges here. To make sure the router doesn't tilt, I've pulled another drawer up. It's exactly the same size, so I can use that to help me rest the router on. Since these are so well manufactured, the only thing that might be in here is a little rubber bead to keep the thing from moving around, and I believe there is one. Yep. Now, I knew that wasn't going to hurt my router. That's just a piece of foam. There's going to be probably 4 or 2 on each side. Well, I was a little bit incorrect in my assumption. For some reason, there are 2 brads there, and you can see the router bit just barely missed them. This is a carbide router bit, brand new. Man, I'm glad I missed those. I would have thrown strap metal. All right. Nice picture frame. Yep. There's another brad right there. Makes me leery of doing it with the other frame. Of course, you know I'm going to save these for another day. I'm ready to repeat the procedure on this one. The only difference I've made since I discovered those brads is I've moved this line 1/8 of an inch out. And I may not catch all of this, but I know that I don't see any visible brad nails or any cover up in this area, so I may need to use a little chisel, but I'm playing it safe, keeping my router bit well away from any of potential brads that might be in there. Little chisel. There's a brad. And there's a brad. Man, I'm glad I moved that out. So I have a piece of plywood on my bench here. I've swung it out. So it's hard to cut this off. This jigsaw is equipped with a orbital. The blade will go like this to clear it. If you're cutting metal, take it off so it just goes straight up and down. You're going to get a lot of vibration anyway, and with that, if you have it on the orbital thing, it'll just drive you nuts. Get your metal as close to the plywood or off as you can, especially when you're only taking off 1/4 of an inch or so. I tried aviation metal cutters. This metal was just a little too thick for that. It was really difficult. So another option would be, of course, a grinder. I like this a lot better because I think a grinder is one of the most dangerous tools in the shop. Well, I'm set up here for the second cut. Instead of measuring it this time, I just used the actual board. So I've got plenty, and I've got to make 2 more cuts. I have gone to the emergency room more than once during Christmas. So I put my gloves on. This thing is going to be hidden inside the wood. There's no chance of any child getting hurt with it. But I'm just going to take this burr off for the next few minutes while I have to work with it. According to the directions on the can, I've stirred this real well. I have a high quality polyester brush. It says to wait 24 hours before recoating. So there's a long drying time for this. Just want to make this clear, this is not chalk paint, this is chalkboard paint. This is so much smoother than chalk paint. Since this frame, I didn't have enough sheet metal to go on the other ones, so this frame is, I masked it off, and we'll just paint the inside then. So I've got my frame painted. Second coat of the chalk paint is dry. Drops in. The panel drops back in. And now all I need are some screws to secure it. Here, I'm going to use these little 6x1/2 inch. They've got a pretty nice pan head on them. And I'm just going to space these around here, centering them between the panel and the crack of the panel. And I'm going to put a few in here. See how that looks from the other side. Nah, that's looking great. Finished. She came out in what?
She came down in times 2 minutes. So I know.